Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel. In today's video we're going to be discussing why you should, or why I choose to drive a 13-year-old Volvo. 13 years old seems quite old, but this car really doesn't seem it. It's a 2009 car, and I still think 2009 cars are pretty new. I remember the first time I saw a 2009 car, a neighbour had a Renault Scenic, and it was the 1st of September 2009, believe it or not. So yeah, a lot of you guys sort of ask questions, why I sort of drive this car when I could go out and buy something newer. I've driven a lot of stuff that's newer, I can afford to do it, so why do I choose to stay with my 13-year-old Volvo that I bought for £1,500? So let's get straight into it. Now, first of all, I think I need to tell you guys, for those of you that don't know, what I paid for this car. I paid £1,500 for this car at a local auction, and it was when I didn't have a choice. My BMW had just been written off. I was in a leg brace, so I just buy an automatic, and this became available at the local auction house. I'd always wanted a Volvo, and I always liked the S80, but never could sort of justify it until it suddenly sort of forced itself upon me, or the situation arose where I would need to get one. So that's how I got this car, and it has been fantastic ever since. Now, this has got to be one of the most comfortable cars ever made. There aren't any real other comparisons that I've been able to draw. I've driven the new 5 Series, which is sort of the 5 Series with the equivalent to the S80 back in the day, and it's not the same. And for me, this generation, sort of late 2000s, are perhaps some of the best, or the last of the best cars built, certainly since I've been alive anyway, which isn't that long to be honest. But so when I was well, this car came out when I was 12 years old, so it's when you think, look at it like that, it does seem quite old, but there's a lot of distinct differences between this car and newer cars, which I love. First of all, is that it's absolutely solid. This thing is just built like an absolute tank. More modern cars, for example, they favour lightweightness and weight saving in the aid of fuel efficiency, saving on tax, emissions, all of that debacle. So actually what you get is less well put together, I say less well put together, less substantial product, whereas this car, it's not trying to be lightweight, it's not trying to be well, I don't know, it just is what it is. It's a nice solid car, and everything you touch feels solid, even from the door panels here. Steering wheel's solid, centre console's a bit creaky actually, but it's just a really nice, solid, well-built car, and that transfers through to the driving dynamics as well. So when you're driving this car, it's not phased at all by any sort of weather. It's heavy, it pushes through, it's reasonably powerful, and as a result it can take anything that you throw at it. It's nice and robust, whereas modern cars have a lot of electrical systems, even more than this, and this is quite a complex car, that are just a nightmare. This was pre-DEF as well, or AdBlue, so it's a diesel that you don't have to put extra fluid in to cover up the emissions. It won't get any issues with it not starting when it runs out, etc. It's just a nice simple diesel engine, apart from the fact it's twin turbos and got lots of other different bits and pieces on it, but that's different. There's just less systems to go wrong in it compared to more modern diesels. Now, because I paid so little for this car, I'm not as conscious of it. I'm not as stressed out when I park in a public place. I'm quite happily park it anywhere, within reason, obviously. I don't treat it like rubbish. It's still my pride and joy, but it doesn't sort of limit my life. I just park it. If someone bashes it with the door, it's not the end of the world. In Sweden, for example, a lady reversed into the side of my car, and I didn't even ask her for insurance details. I probably should have, but I wasn't that worried. There was just a little scuff. It's a Volvo after all, so there wasn't that much damage at all, and it was just, yeah, it's nice not to have to worry about cars. When I was younger, I used to buy cars that were my absolute pride and joy. Wash them nearly every day, trying to keep them as clean as possible, and it just becomes sort of an overwhelmingly stressful experience, whereas this car just exudes relaxation. I'm trying to get my words right. You can just sit in it, drive along, not have to worry about it. If you hit something, it's not that difficult to replace any broken parts. You're not worried about it getting dirty, because it's not the sort of car that has to be clean. These Volvos, I think, look quite good when they're dirty. I actually haven't washed this for quite a long time. I'm not going to admit how long it's been or how many miles I've done, but it's not something that really bothers me that much, seeing this car dirty, because I know that it can take it. These cars are built to drive and live in Scandinavia in sort of horrible, harsh climates. We experienced -36 when we were in Sweden, so it just built to take it all, and it can. Now, going back to simplicity and everything like that, I can do all the maintenance on this car myself. That's one of the biggest things, is I like to change my own oil, change my own transmission fluid, change belts, change coolant, change brake fluid, change brakes, all that sort of stuff I like to do myself. So not having to worry about maintaining a full dealership service history, or having to worry about getting a dealership to scan the code so that it will reset the service light, that to me is a big factor. I can just do the job and fix the car and not have to worry about it. I can get the parts cheaply, I can do it myself. I enjoy doing it, I film content for you guys. It's just, yeah, it makes far more sense for me to do that than have to build a service plan to preserve the value of my car. It just seems bonkers to me that you have to spend money because you're too scared to service it elsewhere, that you might lose money, and yeah, just crazy. So those who are sort of into that will value a specialist far more than the main dealer, because we sort of know what goes into the whole process. So not having to worry about that sort of thing and just being able to work on it myself. It's fairly simple as well. It's not difficult to get my head around. I don't need any ridiculous computers. Vida can be bought off eBay for £150. I use Garage Pro. It all does the same stuff. You haven't got thousands of modules that do different things. Like some cars, even the bumpers have modules, which is just obscene. It runs all of the cruise control, the radar guided cruise control, etc. Not this car. It's just nice and simple. And if something breaks, it's more likely mechanical rather than electric. Now, this car has seen a lot of miles. It's on 115,000, and that's another reason why I love it. There's a lot of memories attached to this car. Like I said, I sort of came across it at an important time. Just turn this warmth up. It's getting a little chilly. And as a result, I've sort of formed a bit of a connection with it. It's quite strange. It's not, everyone's seen the TikTok with Jeremy Clarkson's going on about how it's not just, what's it called, there's some wooden carvings on the side of the road. That's quite cool. Everyone's seen it where he talks about how it's not just a bunch of metal wires and glass, it's much more than that. And this car holds a lot of memories. Mrs. DL and I have obviously travelled to Sweden in this car. We've been all over the place with the dog in this car. Lots of things that happened in this car, and it's part of the family. It's not really worth trading it in. A dealership wouldn't give me that much money for it, probably 3 or 4 grand max. sake of then having to finance a car for £300 a month, it just seems silly. This car costs me nothing monthly apart from to tax it, which I think I pay £24 a month to tax it, and to put fuel in. That's it, and the insurance obviously. But you're going to get that with any other car. Whereas if I was paying out monthly, there's a little lamb there that's escaped. If I was paying out monthly for a lease or a PCP or something like that, I wouldn't have that. I save a fortune by driving this car. Whether it's a little less economical than more modern cars doesn't offset what I would be paying out monthly on it. So yeah, it's just a nice car. And what I like as well is the fact that it doesn't draw attention. A lot of people don't even know what this car is. They're not used to seeing a big Volvo saloon. They obviously recognise the badge on the front, but people from the side or the back don't necessarily know what it is. In fact, my mum didn't know for a long time, and I quite like that. It's not shouty. It's almost my little secret. It's comfortable. It's luxurious. It's got all the toys, and everybody gets in it never wants to get out again, but just because it's so comfortable, and I just find that it's just right. Obviously I do get tempted by other cars, and I've talked in the past about getting an XC70, and that's still on the cards, but I don't think I'll ever want to get rid of this car anyway, so I need to find more driveway space, or another place to store my Volvo collection when it begins. So yeah, but that's just a few reasons why I choose to drive a 13-year-old 115,000 mile Volvo. Now you guys may differ. I'm sure a lot of you guys watching the channel have a similar bond with your car, and have similar reasons for loving it. And also, I'll just let these cars in front go a bit of a gap, because what you don't get in newer Volvos now is the 5-cylinder noise. So if I just put my foot down here, that noise is just intoxicating, and then suddenly that A-class in my mirror's gone, and we're up to the cars in front again, and it's just, yeah, you don't get that in modern cars. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'll probably do the antithesis to this video as a follow-up as why you shouldn't drive a 13-year-old Volvo in today's day and age, and that will be coming on the channel very shortly. But until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.